Property management can sometimes be really exciting. It's a really great method of generating wealth by buying investment properties. A lot of people would try to get ahead of their lives by having an investment property. However, the issues that come in is when there's lack of understanding and lack of education in amongst the investors. So today's video series are actually aligned to ensure that we are adding value to yourself as property investor. Number one thing to consider as an investor is that it is a business transaction. And imagine you purchased a business and you're going to run a shop where your clients are walking in. You'll always have good ambience and you'll always have your equipments in working order. So your products that you're trying to sell are actually in a good condition. Very similar, again, it might not be the same analogy, however, it relates to a lot of people. If you are an investor, ideally this is an investment property for yourself and you're running a business. These days, Victorian government has obviously classified the tenants as renters and rental providers, which used to be landlords before. So it's more or less a business transaction for the government that you are a service provider. So you must maintain your property as you are supposed to and meant to. So from that perspective, number one thing is making sure that your properties are well maintained throughout the tenancy and well looked after. When the tenants move out and when the tenants move in, they're provided with a good condition in the property. Number one thing I would say is with regards to the property cleanliness. The cycle starts when your first tenancy starts. A lot of the times when we see a property which is listed for rent and has not been professionally cleaned by the rental provider, it goes back into the same cycle. Some of the time the renters who come in, they're pretty nice, they're pretty courteous that even if the rental provider has not provided the property in a clean condition, they would still do it. However, most of them would actually return the property back in the same condition, less fair wear and tear. Now, it doesn't mean that the property is super clean because, of course, the way it was provided to them, it's not provided back in the same sort of condition, or perhaps it's not in a professional standards. So it's always critical that when you are leasing out your property for the first time, making sure that your property is professionally cleaned and it's to the highest standards. So the same can be expected and imposed to the outgoing tenants or renters from the first tenancy. Thereafter, the cycle goes on. So it's a lot more easier for yourself to make sure that your property is looked after.